Okay, so today uh, I'm Bani, and here I want to do a assignment of British society subject, which is I need to interview a native British people to ask some British knowledge about them, and without any further ado, let's start the session. I mean, oh no, let I will let you introduce yourself, bro. So,
Um, my name is Jack. I'm 23. I'm from England. That is all.
okay, so let's start with our first question. First question: how would you describe the United Kingdom to someone who has never been there before?
Um, there's a stereotypical answer that it's fairy tale and castles, but there's also we're a very modern country, but we also have a lot of very kind of old things, like all the town centers. Uh, like lots of history here. We have a lot of different cultures that live among us from all around the world. So a very multicultural society.
Okay.
I think that's how I would describe the United Kingdom.
It is indeed a classic and old country since I mean it's been there before. Like uh, they have a like kingdom era with everything with king changing. It's a classical country, which is where culture, high culture. I mean like classic poet, uh, music was very treasured in the England.
Yeah,
I also like the buildings in England itself, like Big Ben Tower and many others sculpture like statues can be found, or just a regular classic building that still lasts until this day. Okay, so jump to the next question. What do you think the what do you think are the biggest political issues the UK is facing right now?
um, I think depending on how much coverage in the media,
Media.
illegal immigration seems to be the biggest driving factor in what people vote for. Over the last decade or so, it's become quite uncontrolled. And I think that a lot of people are starting to feel unrest when it comes to that. A lot of people refuse to integrate, and so the local people where we live here, uh, they're fed up. They don't want to have that happening. So there's a lot of pressure that's being put on the government, both the incumbent and the opposition, to tighten these restrictions and
Yes.
to do something about this. I think that's the main headline, really, the biggest issue.
The main headline of a news like that.
Yeah,
Oh, you just said about immigrant. Uh, in your opinion, which ethnics are the most, uh, how do I say it, the most many in England, except the
yeah.
England itself?
I think that it's typically like the biggest immigrant group is French and Polish
Oh,
people,
France.
but I think part of that is due to proximity, but also a lot of Polish people moved here during
Mm,
the Second World War, so a lot of them fought on our side. But then the next largest would probably be South Asian, so India, Pakistan,
mm,
Bangladesh. In regards to the boats, many of these people are North African, Middle Eastern, South Asian. But there's also, of course, people from Turkey, Thailand, Vietnam, these sort of places. I think that it's sort of from everywhere, really.
Okay, that's very interesting answer from you. Okay, now let's jump to the third question. What the recent social or political issue in the UK has caught your attention and why?
For me, it would be HS2, which is high-speed railway.
Oh, okay.
We have a high-speed train link with the mainland to France and Netherlands, Belgium. However, our main passenger rail that connects our core cities, so say London to Birmingham, Manchester, Scotland, these lines are oversaturated and there's not enough kind of capacity to meet all the passenger demand. So our government many years ago put forward a plan to construct a new railway line that would alleviate some of this overcapacity. The biggest issue is it's been dragging on for a very long time. Way more money's been spent on this project than they initially intended to. And also the other thing is they've cancelled parts of the legs. So the route originally was supposed to go to Leeds, Manchester. Now it only goes to Birmingham, which is only half the way. And I think a lot of people are feeling very let down by it.
Do you think if HS2 is success, do you think many people will like it or not? In your opinion?
Well, I live near one of the construction sites for it, and obviously growing up, this was a big stretch of countryside, lots of very beautiful villages around there, and so they all got sort of destroyed in the process of building it, and so a lot of people where I live are upset about it. On the other hand, I think that when it does eventually get finished, I think it will be very beneficial. France, for example, Germany, they're all basically the same sort of level in development and sort of infrastructure as us. We're just lagging behind. And for a country that more or less pioneered railways, it is quite disappointing that we haven't already got something like that. So I think when it is finished, it'll be something to be proud of, hopefully.
Oh, I see. Well, it's nice to have a advanced transportation in your place. You know what I mean? I mean today is 2025, which is I think everything should move faster and efficiently. I'm also agree with uh, advancement of transportation, which is in Indonesia. Also, there's kind of HS2 too. It named WUS, and it's a Jakarta Bandung kereta. So today you can went from Jakarta to Bandung or vice versa, like only about 30 to 45 minutes only, which in the regular trip you requires like 5 hours or more. Not to mention that there's a traffic jam everywhere in especially in Jakarta, Bandung, and it's a very crowded city. And the toll tariff, street. But they also charge the people who use bus Jakarta Kereta Bandung, ya, Kereta Jakarta Bandung, uh, expensive. But I think that's not very a big problem, which is I don't want to complain about how expensive it is because it's worth it for the time saving and the distance saving. I think it's a good. I think it's a good advancement in transportation for the people. Also for the nation for the nation advancement. I think that's also a nice, interesting answer from you, Jack. Okay, so I think that's all from us. Do you have anything to say?
No, thank you for having me.
I also want to thank you too, because you let me do the interview once again, and I appreciate it. Yeah. I really appreciate your help, your time. You're really kind, man. Thank you, man.
You're very welcome. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.